Forgive the background, but I can't make this any more sassy than it already is, okay? So welcome to topic number 6, which is going to be website build out essentials, all right? So these are the things that you need to consider when you're building your website. These are lessons that I've learned actually after building my website and launching it, what I was able to figure out and what I was able to learn and what I was able to understand, okay? So there's a couple different topics that we're gonna go over, but the essentials are gonna be critical before you actually start going in to building this thing out. And we're gonna help you. I'm gonna help you go through this process where you can have a quicker learning curve, okay? Because mine was a little bit longer and that's okay, all right? So one of the things that I didn't think about before starting my website was how people were gonna view it. But how many times have you heard, or at least had conversations or heard conversations, people talking about the importance of mobile, okay? And it wasn't until after the fact that I realized that my website was not mobile friendly, and that could be a detriment to the traffic that you attract to it, okay? Primarily, I wanted to have a real flashy, like a little real video centric kind of website where people could go and kind of have like this crazy little wow factor, like, oh, that's so great. And in theory, you know, that's a great thing to do. And you do want to do that. And you do want to focus on that. But since you're going to be building this website on your own, and since it's going to probably be, you know, pretty cookie cutter and bare bones, it's really, really, really important to keep your build out super, super simple. And if you have too many videos that are running in the background, that will eat up memory and that will slow down how quickly your pages actually get uploaded to somebody's phone. Now, this is a true stat, and I didn't realize till after the fact, but think about it after I tell you. But when you're on your phone and doing whatever search that you're doing on your phone, and let's just say you go to your mobile browser and you type in a website address, and it takes over 4 seconds to boot up, what do? I don't know about you, but I get frustrated and I leave and I go somewhere else to find something that boots up faster. So when you think about it in those terms, think about people are moving 100 miles an hour and people aren't patient. So if it takes greater than 5 to 7 seconds to boot up your website, those people are gone. I'm telling you, they are absolutely gone and they're going to move on. And I didn't realize that till months after I started my website, because I forgot the stat. I forget the name of the stat. But when I had people go to the website and they were actually at the website and it took so long to boot up, they just left. And there's a term for that. I can't remember what it is. And I want to look it up, but I don't want to interrupt this video. But we'll get to it. So I'm going to share my screen. I should have done this a long time ago. Okay, so we're going to get into Google Analytics, and we're going to get into it later. Hold on, I'm going to pause this. All right, sorry, I didn't put that up there. I didn't realize that you couldn't actually see me. So we're talking about mobile, right? So what I've done for this week is this is Google Analytics. Now this in and of itself is just absolutely overwhelming, okay? And there are thousands of different YouTube videos discussing Google Analytics. We're not gonna get into a lot of detail about it because there's a lot of other stuff out there that's better than what I would do that you could research it, okay? But what I wanted to show you is when you pull up your Google Analytics, you'll have all of your website data, and then you'll have your dates, and you can do your dates based on per week, per day, per month. In this case, I'm doing it per week. So from June 8th to June 14th, this is my website traffic. And what I wanted to point out to all of you is look at the percentage of people who are viewing my website via on their mobile phone. Okay, 60%. Some weeks it's 80%. Some weeks it's 70%. What I will tell you, it is the majority of what people will look. Mobile will be the primary source of people looking for your website and looking at it, and it's got to be simple, and it's got to boot up fast, and it's really, really, really important. Okay, so if you get anything out of this video, as you build this thing out, you need to think simple, and you need to think mobile, 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 and think about what you go through when you're on your mobile phone doing a search. Okay, you want that experience to be quick, and you want that experience to be fast. And when someone punches in your URL address, you want it to open right up, because that's where you get people. Okay, so if you look at this, we're going to talk about these topics: mobile, mobile, mobile. All right, and why that's super important. Now, I'm actually going to switch this up. So let's do this. So one of the things that is so important today that you have to consider, and you have to have it on your website, okay, is a privacy policy. All right. If you don't have a privacy policy, and God forbid something happens, okay, privacy is becoming a more important topic every single day. And when you think about what's going on at Facebook, and you think about what's going on at Amazon, and you think about what's going on over at Google and all these other websites, okay, privacy, privacy, privacy. When you're on all those, look at this data. All right, this is Google data, okay? This is the stuff that's being tracked. Now, it's not able to tell me who you are, right, as a user going through my website or web page, but it's basically able to tell me everything else, okay? And yeah, that's private, and yeah, that's anonymous, but you just got to be cognizant of the fact that privacy is a hot topic right now. It's a hot button. People want to understand what is being tracked about them. And if you have Gmail, and you use Gmail, and you use any Google products, and you use Chrome browser, and you use all those other Google related free products, they have so much data on you. It's absolutely insane. Okay. So I'm only sharing that because if you understand the importance of privacy, you get it. Okay. It's even more important for you on your website to make sure that you got yourself covered. Okay. And I didn't know how to write a privacy policy. I didn't even think about a privacy policy. But it wasn't until I actually did some business with an old business partner or an old employer that I understood that the privacy policy is a big deal. And there's a lot of liability associated with it. And you don't want to get caught up in any of that. All right. So do yourself a favor. All right. And as you're thinking about mobile, before you even build out your website, I want you to go to Wonder Legal. I love this website. It's absolutely phenomenal. Okay. This website will allow you to create legal documents. Okay. Now, what I would recommend to all of you is create the legal document within this tool, articles of incorporation, employee handbooks. You can't believe the kind of stuff. And they have a privacy policy here. And this is where I generated my privacy policy. And what I was able to do on my website was I was able to publish it, and then I was able to create a link. So if you go down all the way to the bottom and you see where it says privacy policy, you click on privacy policy. And because I published this to the web, it's going to open up and it's going to give you a privacy policy. Okay. It's privacy policy on my website for signfairies.net. All right. All of this information I got from Wonder Legal. Okay. It goes into a lot of detail. Now, full disclosure, I didn't have an attorney review it. I probably should, but I haven't. Okay. And I'm hoping that the bulk of the information in this privacy policy is enough to protect me. All right. I need to write that down as something I got to follow up on, because if I'm telling you that it's a big deal, I also need to do it as well. But at least I have something on my website that someone can click onto and kind of see how it all works. All right. But I'm not collecting any data really from anybody. You know, in Square, it will ask you whether or not you want to keep the person's credit card information. My answer is no. And the only reason why is, why would I want that? I wouldn't want someone to keep my credit card information. People do that, but I don't want that anywhere connected to me. So when you purchase something via Square, I get rid of it. I don't want any of it. All right. So that's a big thing to think about. All right. So now you know the importance of mobile before you've started building your website. You know the importance of a privacy policy. Okay. You have a place where you can go and actually create a privacy policy. All right. And what I did was I copied and pasted the privacy policy out of Wonder Legal. Is that the name of the website? Yeah, Wonder Legal. Okay. And what I did was I put it in a Word document. You see this video going on in the background? This is on my webpage. This will slow my webpage down. All right. So what I did was I copied my privacy policy and I put it into a Google Doc. All right. And the reason why I used Google Docs is because if I wanted to, I can see this button right here, publish to the web. Once you've created your privacy policy, you can use Google Docs to copy and paste your privacy policy into a Google Doc, and then you can publish it to the web. All right. So then you can publish it to the web. Now you have a URL address. And when you went to my website and I showed you where my privacy policy was, okay, this is a hyperlink, and it's a hyperlink to the URL of my published to the web privacy policy on my Google Doc, right? Does any of this make sense? If it doesn't, that's okay. But if you're following me because you're understanding my logic, right? This isn't complicated. But if I share this with my wife, she would lose her mind. She would not get it. She would not get it at all. So it's imperative that before you even build your website, which is the stuff that I didn't even do, you think through this stuff, okay? And I know I'm beating a dead horse, but I want to tell you, if I knew this before I started my webpage, it would have been a completely different game in a completely different stadium. And I would have been much better prepared for what was to come, okay? So understand this, it's important. And I wouldn't have a topic about it for you to listen to if I didn't think it was important, because I'm still learning about this stuff. I mean, like, this is a whole new universe. Website building, Google Analytics, privacy policy. I'm just, I'm an old school guy, a little bit. I mean, I'll be 50 in January, but I always thought you just open up a retail location, start your business there, and then you go. None of this e-commerce stuff. It's bananas, right? I do want to get too much off on a tangent, but this stuff, if you can't tell by my passion here, is really important. And it was a big, if I knew this beforehand, it would be a big game changer. Okay. So, you know what? We're going to do this one last. So we know the importance of mobile. You have a resource now in Wonder Legal, or you can go and create your privacy policy. To guys, for free. It's absolutely free. Okay. And I'm speechless. Okay. So one of the things that you will have to do, because we've talked about it in topic 2, we've talked about some of it Topic 2 was about, your business name and your domain name, right? So if you've gone to GoDaddy, or if you've gone to Google, or if you've gone to Wix, or you've gone to Squarespace, and you've done a search on whether or not your business name domain is where your website will sit. Domain is www.yourcompanyname.com, .net, .io, .org, whatever it happens to be. That's your home base. Your domain name is going to be yours, okay? When you when you buy your domain name, all right, and you own that URL address, or you've rented it, or you've owned it for a period of time, you're going to be able to create a company email address, okay? So when you look at my email address, it says rennick@signfairies.net, all right? And I was able to create that and transfer it to Google, Gmail. Now, what I can tell you is if you've purchased a domain name from any of the following domain website hosting companies, Squarespace, WordPress, Wix, Google, anywhere, keep your email, your company domain name, which will have your company name in your email address, like mine does at signfairies.net, within the software solution that you're using. For example, okay, this is my Wix page, okay? And when you get into building your website, you're gonna get very familiar with this page, okay? And there's so much information here that it's absolutely daunting, okay? But don't get bogged down by it. The only reason why I'm showing you this is because within the overview of your website building tool is a place on Wix called business email, okay? And when you open it up, it will allow you to create a custom email domain, all right? And if you've purchased your domain name through Wix, okay, what I'm saying to you is, here you have an opportunity to connect your domain to your email address. So if I purchased john@yourdomain.com or at yourdomainname.com at Wix, now I have a place where I can go and have a business email address. And like you go to Gmail to look at your emails, you could come to Wix and look at your email. I think it's actually, they use Outlook 360. You can have your mailbox. So here's why you need a mailbox, all right? So I know I'm getting off on a tangent, and I'm really sorry, I don't want to, but I want you to understand the importance of warehousing everything that I learned I needed to warehouse after the fact. I spent hours, freaking hours, transferring the domain name I purchased at Wix so that within my Gmail account. You can transfer that stuff, but then you have to change your DNS, right? You have to update that. You have to find the DNS that's in Google. Dude, it's a nightmare. And if you're not familiar with technology or have any passion towards it, it will drive you fucking crazy, okay? So please listen to what I'm saying to you, all right? Let's just go back to that document because I want to be super passionate about it, okay? Simple, simple, simple. Not only from a template standpoint, but from a pre-game build out of your website, all right? Just understand these concepts and you'll be good to go, because when you get into building your website, if you don't have this knowledge, it's gonna bite you in the can later, okay? It's gonna bite you in the can later. So what I would say to you is, and if you haven't done already, not a big deal. Don't be overwhelmed by having to change your email address to a place where you can actually get it. I didn't mean to scare you if you've already done that, but all I'm trying to say is if you haven't done it yet, you have an opportunity to keep it within a framework that is so much more manageable than it would be from switching from browser to browser, Gmail, Outlook 360, GoDaddy.com, Wix email address. Do you see where you can just keep spiraling? And then you're like, my God, what DNS do I need to fix here? What DNS do I need to fix there? Okay. So if you like to make things complicated because you're detail oriented, please, I beg you, just pull back on the detail and keep it super, super simple. Mobile, privacy policy, setting up your company email address with the domain that you purchased for your business, yourdomainname.com. Okay. Now, in this build out, all right, those three areas are super important. All right. These right here: mobile, privacy policy, setting up your email address. Okay. Now we're going to be talking about a template. Okay. And a template is essentially what you would use as an outline to build your website. Okay. So if I'm going to pause this for 1 second because I want to get more detail here before I start talking. All right. So I wanted to show you that within my Wix account, I have and am starting to create a new website, only just to show you kind of how this works. So within Wix, you can go to what kind of website do you want to create? Now, they're not going to have anything for yard card celebration business, all right? So you're going to create, there's many topics that you can choose from, and they're super broad, all right? So there's other, there's business, all right? Online store. Let's go to other, see where that takes us. All right, so Wix will offer a service where you can I haven't done that. I haven't done this. I've just gone to choose a website, choose a template. So I click on the template. Now here are all the different topics, templates, all website templates, all right? So here are all the things that you can choose to use to build your website, okay? Modeling agency, coming soon landing page, you know, motivational speaker, online lessons. That's an interesting one. Webinar landing page, right? Stuff like that. So what I would say to you is do something that doesn't have an e-commerce portion to it. Because at the end of the day, when I picked my template, I just basically deleted everything and just kept it and changed the colors. All right, so if you look at my, really? So if you look at mine, I created the background, which is video that moves. I went to the home page. The home page doesn't move because that's the page where most people actually go to from a mobile perspective. So there's no video, there's nothing like that. Okay, so I created the background because it's going to be a yard and whatnot. And I made this the way that it is. Really simple. Okay. So for this exercise, you're going to have to take the time to figure out which website works for you. And I'm only going through this to see what I can get. All right, so I like the idea of a virtual assistant. Let's go to view. So you can click on view, and what view will do, it will give you an idea of the website pages, all right, and how it will all look. Use this template as a starting point. Change anything you want to make it your own website. Edit the website. All right. So once you find the right website that you want, then you view it and then you click on edit this website. Now it's going to open up a whole nother window. It's actually building it as we speak. I just want to show you this process because our next video is going to go into website building, but it is going to be broad and it is going to be sort of a encompassing tutorial on how all this works. And you know, this is taking a really long time and I'm going to have to probably edit this out, which makes me absolutely bananas, but that's okay. Process being requested. All right. Well, this is actually a copied version of my own website. All right. Here it is. All right. This is great. Okay. So within Wix, all right, you're going to have this button, which is going to be your desktop view and your mobile view. All right. So this is what your website is going to look like on someone's phone. And what I would say to you is start building your website here. Okay? Because once I built my website, not based on the mobile concept, more of a desktop concept, I had to redo my mobile all over again. So I actually had to build 2 websites. If you start with the mobile first, A, it will be simpler, and B, it'll default back to a desktop. All right, you could do either or. But I'm pointing out the importance of making sure that you understand mobile within this topic, because it is critical, absolutely critical that you think mobile, mobile, mobile. That's where everybody's going. All right. So I don't want to get bogged down in the details on how you build the template and all that kind of stuff, because I'll do that in my next video, but it's going to be broad. All right. So at the end of the day, the other thing that I want you to do with regards to this topic is I want you to set up a Google Analytics account. All right. Because we're going to incorporate that, some of it, into our next video, which is going to be really based on details of building out your website. Okay. But if you don't have a Google Analytics account, you can just simply go to, what's this? Let's just go google.com. It's probably just a separate website. Yeah, I think it is. Google Analytics. All right, it's a separate website. Okay, it'll be interconnected with if you have a Gmail account, but you're going to want to go to Google Analytics and you're going to want to set that up. All right, because you just need that. It's not debatable. You just gotta have that stuff. All right. So I know I've been reiterating this over and over and over again during this video, but I can't tell you enough how important it is. This is pregame, all right? This is, practice during the week, all right? It's getting yourself ready for the big game. And the big game, okay, is gonna be building your website. That's where you gotta have all this stuff ready to go, okay? So, not to beat a dead horse, all right? But let's just go through it again a little bit slower, all right? Mobile, mobile, mobile. That's what you need to be thinking about. Making sure that your mobile website or your website is set up for mobile and that it's got a quick ramp up speed. Okay, quick download speed, privacy policy. You now can go to Wonder Legal and set up your privacy policy. All right. If you set up your domain name in any other place other than where you're building your website, okay, you're going to have to transfer or just use your business email address where you set up your domain name, okay? Because transferring it is daunting, to say the least. All right. I want you to remember also too, like, you want to be able to have a second grader maneuver through your website in a simple, non-complicated way. All right. I don't care if it doesn't look super flashy. I don't care if it, doesn't have all the bells and whistles that, a public company is going to have. That doesn't matter right now, in my opinion. Just get your website up and running and get it started. Okay. Set up a Google account. All right. Those are your tasks. Get those done. We'll move on to the next one. You guys are doing great.